Let me ask, are you in Seller Central or are you just looking up the actual, because there's two ASINs, right? So there's two, there's two offerings. Yeah, so, okay, but there's the FBM offer and then there's the FBA offer. And we've been making changes in the FBA offer because that was the look at the SKU YC. So that was the original listing that we created and we've always done that. So basically you make the changes within whatever, it doesn't matter. Like I can make the changes in the FBA listing or the FBA offer and everything should transfer over. And you're correct, I just looked at the FBM listing, right? And there's nothing there. But then when I go look up the FBA offer, there's everything in the back end. So I think what's happening is the information isn't transferring over because it's the same ASIN. The offer shouldn't matter, it should share all the details. So I think that's where the issue could be. I don't know. But it's not like you could say, hey, you need a different description for an FBA listing. No. Like shouldn't it just transfer over? Yeah, but the SKU has no change on the ASIN though. Like the ASIN itself, if I make an FBM offer, right, out of an FBA offer, say it's FBA and then it doesn't have two different sets of bullet points.
Okay, let me see, 7Y3.
I know I said play stupid, but I still need to get this done. And normally what happens is they just do what I'm saying they'll do, but this is silly. What he's saying is that we have two listings. We have an FBA listing and an FBM offer. And the FB...
I do see the bullet points.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, I don't see them. So let's go on, basically just like we're doing copy paste and fill out the missing bullet points on the other SKU, the FBM. Okay? And let's see if I see them here.
You want me to take the bullet points from the FBA listing and put them in the FBM listing?
And save, yeah.
Okay. So something could have happened between the time that we created the FBA listing and the FBM listing and it didn't transfer over.
Most likely, and again, the problem was not a problem, but I cannot input information from my end because you have the configuration and you have a higher ranking than, let's say, the seller support tools. So it's basically expression information on your end. So take the information, in this case, the bullet points that I do see on the FBA listing, and put them on the FBM and then click save, and let me see if it reflects on my end, okay?
Okay, hold on one sec. I'm
Go on.
a little slow sometimes, so hold on.
No worries. Take your time. By the way, let me just check. You have description for this item or not?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, because I don't see that also on the FBN one.
Oh, the description, you mean not the bullet points, you mean the description at the body, on the bottom? No, because this is going to be brand registered. We haven't made the modules yet, so we don't fill in a description when we brand register. We just do the brand registry modules. Fun fact.
Okay. Let's give it a couple of minutes to see if I see on my system the contribution for the bullet points.
Okay. So what he basically said was, so we have two listings. We have an FBA listing and we have an FBM listing. Now, what he saw was that the bullet points were completely missing from the FBM listing. Now, technically, the bullet points from the FBA listing should have automatically went to that listing, especially because I created the FBM listing after the FBA listing was already active with the bullet points. However, since there is a potential for that where it's not showing for right now for FBM because technically this is active right now for FBM. We have 5 units, right? Let's just say, I mean, the stock's supposed to arrive today anyway, we'll have it. So even if we sell one today, which we won't because the listing looks like the way it does, it won't be a problem. But what he's basically saying is there could have been an error that it's not showing, but the text should still show up for the FBA listing even when it's technically inactive. So we'll play along, we'll fill this in. If it corrects the FBM listing, it'll probably correct the FBA listing. I'm not sure if this is the issue or not, but this is kind of new, that's kind of what he's claiming. But what could have happened was there could be an error between the listing process because the listing is so new, like literally a couple days old.
Okay. Now I see them on the URL.
Okay. Yeah.
And let me check with my tools.
Beautiful words, right? Nice words. No, it's hard because we don't want, like, you know, there's some words we could use because, I mean, this is what it is. I mean, you see it's an FBA planner, right? But we're also being very careful because I know this is something that could get flagged, you know, for the wrong. I was trying to avoid this, basically this phone call. Even though I like you, you're a good guy, my friend. But I was trying to avoid this. But even when we're careful, this still happens sometimes. I don't know. Maybe there's a new word that we can't use. You tell me.
Actually, I'm looking that up, and I'm going to tell you, okay, as per the system, the contribution is here. Now, for this moment, we need to wait because the system is going to actually, this is done by a robot, I am assuming, okay? But it's going to review the contribution, and if it goes through, you'll see the information on the Amazon website. Now, regarding those, let's say, specific words that you might not use, let me find that just a moment. There's some basically promotion.
Yeah.
Let's say words regarding promotions or comparing your product to another one. But let me find that so I can send that over in an email.
Yeah, feel free. I mean, we have, I don't know if that's been updated. We have the list. So I don't know, maybe if it was updated in the last like 2 weeks or something, it's maybe different, right? But, and we also, like I said, we're very careful about that. Like that's not my tactic anyway when I sell things. I don't say ours is better than this other person's. I think that's pretty just silly. Like I follow what the most successful people say. They say just make yours better, right? And then let the people talk, right? Instead of saying, you know, I mean, we do comparison charts for our own products, but that's different. That's your A++ content, that's something else. But that's just a comparison chart for our own products, that's something else. You know, that's just to talk about the different features.
Basically, I'll send this over, but just for you to know, promotional words, those get taken out. Restricted characters, for example, I don't know, I don't.
Exclamation point is restricted?
Yes, actually.
What's it?
Abusive words.
So
information. That the word has all caps, all uppercase. That also gets considered. What else? Basically, that's it.
So I think I know what the problem was too. I'm like, now that I'm looking at it. So in our last bullet point, remember you told me to change one thing, right, in the initial listing. So at the end of bullet point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the sixth bullet point, after strategic success, there was an exclamation point there. So that's the thing I changed. I changed it to a period instead of an exclamation point. That might have, I mean, I don't see anything else, you know, like, but so basically the way this.
I'm just going to send like the examples, but for example, this that says promotional words, restricted characters, abusive, all of the letters might be in caps.
What about, for example, in my second bullet point? So I have IPI, which is it's an Amazon term, as well as PPC. So IPI is all in caps, and so is PPC. Is that a problem, in your opinion?
No, that's not a word. It's just like
it's an abbreviation or an acronym. So for acronyms, it's technically okay.
Let me check the text. For example, FBA is all in caps. So.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's in the title all in caps as well, and that's there, right? So like, you tell me, is that a problem? I mean, it won't be actually factually accurate at that point, but I mean, I understand sometimes with Amazon, we need to do things that don't make sense just to get it to go through. But I mean, that's what I was asking, because from my experience, if it's an abbreviation or an acronym, it's correct in the English language to make them caps, right? I know that could become a problem if the acronym is like 6 or 7 letters. That can happen, but these are all like 3 letters.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's okay.
If let's say that you're selling something, say something related to the U.S. as a country. You're not going to write U.S. in small case.
Yeah, you're going to put USA or US or, yeah, because it's an
I'm
abbreviation.
going to send this, let's say the main ones that might cause, not just for bullets, but for title also, to have the contribution reject. But on the meantime, we need to wait for the system to reveal the ones that you have, at this moment. But I'll send this just in case.
Okay, thank you so much. So basically, I'll give this 24 hours. If it doesn't update within 24 hours, can I call back?
So you also can write. This case, actually, it's going to be resolved. But if something happens, you can reopen the case.
Yeah, I think so too.
Have a follow-up on this.
Okay. So basically, the normal process flow here would be to call you for, get in contact with the catalog team. Not you specifically.
If you don't like to make calls,
I mean, if you want to get, I'll call you once a day if you want, my friend. I'll give you, give you some nice words and tell you how good of a job you're doing. I'm sure no one tells you what a good job you're doing. But I just want to just be clear for myself for the process. So first we would do this, right? So we would call, get in contact with the catalog team. If we're in this circumstance where something's still kind of fresh, we would do what we're doing right now. And then if it doesn't work within 24 hours, then it's something that we could potentially manually review and see what's going on. It needs to go through the bots first, basically, right? Okay. So after it clears the bots, it's either okay or I need to call back.
the owner of this agent and any other you might have, I will follow this path. For example, you make the updates or the changes, whatever, okay? And wait just 24 hours. If the information doesn't go through, you can reach back to us.
Okay.
If it's an older agent and the information does not update, the releasing process I just told you.
Okay,
Because,
perfect.
as owner, you have the contribution, and you need to call. But if you have any follow-up questions or any doubt, you are free to either write, open a case via email, or call if you like.
Okay.
By the way.
Thank you so much. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll wait, we'll see what happens, and then we'll go from there. Thank you. You've been very helpful today.
Thank you for calling. Take care. Bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.